Welcome back for the final hour of this week's episode of The Long Voyage. And we have just had a serious heart-to-heart between Sindri and Captain Ormer and various hijinks. So, you guys get back down to the ship, and Ormer doesn't look drunk anymore, strangely enough. How does Sindri appear?
Thoughtful. His face appears a little bit softer than usual.
Ah! He's starting to use facial creams.
I know he's using face balm.
Oh,
it's
God.
It's done him a world of good.
Yeah,
Maybe you
L'Oreal,
can-
because you're worth it.
Maybe
better than-
it's one with. Maybe it's Maybelline.
Ah! Alright.
This glossy sheen in his raven black hair.
Yes.
No, he's just not looking quite as sour as usual.
No.
He doesn't look like he's swallowed a lemon.
Alright, so, what about the rest of you? What are you up to, if anything?
Elva
So this
won't be
is-
back before sunrise.
I'm guessing celebrating with the rest of the guys.
Yeah. What about Gylfi? He also went. He went
Yeah,
to
Guilty
the
made
Fat
his
Goose.
way. Yeah, it was just sitting around, just
Well, that is
You
not a
drink-
problem. Aa comes over and asks if you're hungry.
he's like, yeah. Then he thinks for a second.
Good, good,
in-
good.
No, we eaten on way back.
But that has been a while. Surely you must be
Ah.
hungry again.
Thank you, but
Just thirsty.
fine. Yes, just wine.
Yes,
If-
just wine. He brings you wine. Some of the soldiers are there as well. They're not as raucous and loud as normal. They're having a quiet evening.
Yeah,
Once in a
Guilty
while they-
didn't have chance to clean off, so he probably still have some blood spatters on his
Yeah.
like. Well, I imagine quite a bit of blood all over his, not his like maid clothing,
No,
his
no,
like
no.
Southlander clothing.
Yes, you're not the only one. The soldiers are messy as well, and clearly they're tired. And from what you can tell, they're actually once in a while they toast one of their dead friends, one of the some of the men who fell, and I mean obviously they're affected by it. They're sad, obviously, clearly. But yeah. So basically, Gylfi is just spending the evening there, getting something to drink, and yeah. Okay.
Mm.
So back down at the ship, what does Sindri actually do?
Sindri is going to see if he can wash himself a bit of any blood and dirt he might have on his face.
Yes.
And he's going to change into. I don't think he'll change into the formal wear
No.
that he might have bought. He will have bought at least some practical clothes from the same
Yes.
seamstress as he got the clothes from. Just so he has something clean to put on and it's nicer. And
Of course.
he's going to go searching for Gylfi. First, he'll ask if anyone's seen where he went, and then he'll make an assumption that. Where's the one place I would go if I wanted to, be alone and think about things and get drunk while I'm doing it, sort of thing.
Yeah. So you're heading up to the Goose as well.
Yes.
All right. Well, while you do that, then back to Frothy. What do you do?
get mind-numbingly drunk.
Okay, so you are basically getting completely blitzed. Okay.
Absolutely.
Yes, by this point, you have gotten to the point of drooling.
He's not
And-
faking
and
it.
Everybody is your best friend.
Of course they are.
So, yeah. And, well, while you get completely smashed, I guess we can head up to the Fat Goose. When you enter, Sindri, you can in fact see that Gylfi is there. You are also met by Aa, who is of course the proprietor, and he spreads his arms out wide and says, "Welcome. Are you hungry?"
Sindri nods. He is actually somewhat peckish.
Good. I will bring you food. He goes and and thirsty.
Another nod, yes.
Yes, I shall bring you wine too. And he goes to the kitchen and comes back later with a large mug of his best ale
Mm-hmm.
and a bowl of dandan.
Ooh. Lovely.
Yes.
In the meantime, Sindri sits next to Gylfi at the table.
Yes.
Gylfi probably notices when he's not when he approaches, but when he like sits down,
Mm-hmm.
he like shakes a little bit, like raises his eyes, like you,
Yes, it's just me.
yeah, little old you. He's like Gylfi sitting there nursing like a cup rice wine
Mm-hmm.
bowl.
How are you holding up?
I'm fine. I'm fine. Another, did my thing. And that's it.
Hmm. Hey, it's been a long day for all of us, I think, in many ways.
It's been more or less usual, I would say. You know what? After third class, just after tea and planes,
Yes.
I don't know. It's like harder and harder to be surprised by demons, spirits. It's just, I wonder when such events will the same old story.
Surprised, maybe not, but things like these can affect you anyway. I mean, look at how I responded to being on the planes of the convocation. I just found myself laughing and happy to be alive, and more so than I think my comrade than anyone else on the ship. But, well, you're not like me, and you're not much like anyone else on the ship, Gylfi. You have your own way of responding to things, and I can't help but notice that a lot of the time we get involved in dangerous situations like this, it wears you down. I notice that it leads to situations like with you and Ilva barely speaking to each other. You two have been closer to each other than any of us have been to either of you, and now we're barely on
Might
speaking
be.
terms.
Just he kind of rolls his head back. It's like honestly, I don't know what happened with Ilva. It's just
It's
It just at one at one time she's just we're talk well we're talking well talking arguing and arguing and other like couple sentences in storming off. I'm not entirely sure why. Like I have my well, I know what we're arguing about, but I didn't imagine she would react this badly. But it's like, you know what? It's
how do you see what you were arguing about? What do you think you were arguing about?
you know, well, we're arguing about me skipping my duties on the ship
Okay.
and well skipping
Sindri is
happened maybe twice.
Sindri is surprisingly being very non-judgmental at this point. He's not he's not grimacing or reacting in a way that's just that he disapproves of Gylfi having confessed this. He's just listening.
Yeah, it's not really like being confessed. It's just like you if you're on the ship and Gylfi was supposed to be there, like you'd have noticed him not being there when he was supposed to be there. So it's like it's not that he was practically trying to hide that he was skipping. He was just basically like once he sneaked out, it was like well, somebody confronts me.
You have to understand that for whatever reason you did it, and that's not what's important. Your reasons for acting as you did are your own. But you have to understand that Ulva's life and her judgments are all bound up in an incredibly fervent sense of duty. That is the calling of the Battle Maidens, duty to the Raven Lady, to the Southlands. And that affects how they perceive every part of their life, not just how they perceive the Raven Lady herself. She takes people contributing to the welfare of the crew and the ship more seriously than I think she lets on, and she has never really taken misuse or abuse of those duties very well, and especially when it comes from someone she considers to be as close as you are. You're practically family to her, Gylfi. So it hurts her, and she, being who she is, she doesn't know how to respond in a way that's considerate of how you feel about all this. Get the impression that you really like this place, don't you? Well, not just the fat goose, he says, looking around this village, these people, this sort of life.
Well, just like looks to the bottom of his cap. Like, if you have to be honest with yourself, like, do you not envy them living most of their life free of struggle, free of battle? Obviously, there are bandits. That's any, just bad eggs in every place, and every place has its downsides, but they are not constantly in war, dragged off to war. As far as they don't have to go raiding, fight and die. They can live their lives following things that make them happy. Just the same was to the lesser or bigger extent in the Tier Glass. It was different, but it's just once the Herborg burned down. Like I, I, I love the you, Ilva, like a family, but I don't really feel like I don't really feel like like I owe anything to the Southland. Like basically my past burned down. Then he kind of reaches into the like between that his like tunic or whatever he has, and he pulls out the raven's leg amulet. Yes, it's like and he looks at it. He like turns it around in his fingers. Like, well, he always wanted me to grow up to be strong Southlander warrior, and I suppose to be youthful and just probably fight and die for the sword.
And what do you want? What were those things you mentioned? And for the record, I envy them some things, but not everything.
I don't know what I want right now. I want to live. I want to see or experience the world. But I'm often just concerned that I won't be able to do it for much longer. Like if I'm trying to experience by the tip of the sword.
I'm afraid there's no way we can guarantee that won't happen. We all exist with that possibility. And yes, the life we've chosen, the life sailing the world, is dangerous. And yes, I suppose after as much as you've seen and considering who you are, Gilfie, I imagine seeing these people living in peace, even if that peace comes at the cost of lack of personal independence and the strength to make one's own choices in ways we do, could be appealing. But okay, let me try and be frank about this. If I told you that if you wished to stay in this village with these people and live a quiet life, a life where you get to choose to do peaceful things, to heal the sick, to learn a trade and craft, and live among these people as one of them, and the captain gave his blessing to you to do this, that he did not wish to force you into accepting our life, one of sailing and danger, of adventure and seeing things, but also of having to fight for everything. If you had that chance to stay here and let the rest of us sail on without you, would you take it?
Gilfie turns to looks at the amulet and be like pours himself more wine, like downs it in one. No.
No.
It's believe me, part of me would love to just, just stay behind and just settle somewhere, live a quiet life. But as I said, I don't owe. Before I said I don't owe anything to the Southlands. At least I don't feel like that. I couldn't sleep at night, honestly, knowing that the next smoke monster, the next pine whip, the next arrow axe pod would cleave your chest, stab you, or injure you in any way, and I'll not be there to pull your asses out, because I would not. For all the things that I want to stay here, I want to stay. If I want to stay any place that we will visit, I love meeting new people. I love just seeing those people living the peaceful lives, but I think I also even more I don't want to see any of you dead. And I know that I cannot stop you from running into battle like a bunch of headless chickens. But at least I might ask them to patch you all together and keep you in one piece after.
Comfort. Yeah. But actually, no. I appreciate that, and I understand, and I do understand your reasoning behind your wanting to stay. That being said, if you are going to continue to journey with us, if you're going to continue to do these things, you have to be prepared to commit to what that life entails. There will be more fights, there will be bloodshed, and there will be death. A lot of it will be us dealing death to others. Some of it will be them dealing it to us. But the last few times that we have gone into these situations, it has, for lack of a better term, it has traumatized you, and you have retreated into yourself. You haven't reached out to us and tried to reconcile the way this has affected you. And I know this is unfair of me to simply say, but you do need to come to terms with all of that. Because we need to know, as much as you will always be there to look after us and to patch us up, as you say, we need to know that we can treat you as an equal on the oars and on the field of battle. We need to know that we can trust you to act as we do when push comes to shove. For your healing and for your company, we are eternally grateful, and will always appreciate that. Never take it for granted, but there will be times where you will be required to fight alongside us. As much as I know fighting is, as much as I know that fighting makes you uncomfortable, that it does not define who you are in the same way it does the rest of us, but we need to know that you can still join us in those situations, because we're going to be sailing beyond this village and even the places we've been for 10 day after 10 day after 10 day, possibly for years. And to have over that journey for you to continue to try and bottle or to stifle this this feeling inside you, this need to retreat from the horror of what you're going through, will isolate you from the rest of us, and we will not be able to. Your position in the crew would be compromised by it, and none of us want that. We want you to be one of us. We want you to feel like one of us, and we want what's best for you. But as much as we were prepared to work with you through this, and I'm prepared to help you through any of your thoughts, of your feelings, of the things you go through, however I can, we need you to work with us as well. It's not going to be easy, but it will be worth doing.
Don't. You know, difference here is I'm not afraid to fight. I'm not anymore, at least. I am not afraid to stand in front of any of you with my shield out, taking the blows. I'm not afraid of that, and I will do it without hesitation. It's what I cannot. I don't know. What I cannot. I don't know if I can promise you with. Will have to, I can, fight alongside you, but I cannot promise that I will swing my blade always when there's when it's a needless slaughter, or it's I will take an arrow for every one of you. I will not hesitate, not put one step back. But
you're a good man, Gilfie. I mean, of all of us, you've always had the kindest heart, and I've always appreciated that. Well, actually, no, that's a lie. I've mostly appreciated that. Considering how I treated you when we were younger, I do regret that, by the way. But I know what you mean. And I can't say that I don't expect that of you, and I appreciate that you will, as you say, fight to defend us, but in regards to needless slaughter, I can't guarantee that won't happen. But what I can say is I'm not going to ask you to promise anything. I just want you to try and see if we can reach some sort of compromise on it, because we're all worried. We care about you greatly, Gilfie, and we're worried about how all this is affecting you, and we want you to be, for lack of a better term, we want you to be at ease with yourself and where you are. But I may not understand why that can't happen, but I want to understand. Like I said, if needs be, I will continue to talk and to listen to what you have to say whenever, so that we can try and make this work.
I would say, just for now, the only thing I know that I am, for better or for worse, part of this crew. I cannot say that aside from that, I have no idea who I am. I know what I can do and what I can't do. I don't know. only thing I know that my at least for now, at least as of now, is my places and will be on the ship. But I accept. Aside from that, I just shakes his head at one. Have no idea who I am.
Right around that time, by the way, AA comes back with a refill for both of you.
I think Sindri thinks like he wants to say something light-hearted, but then thinks perhaps best we just drink for a bit in silence and let the situation
Yeah.
peter out. So,
Yep.
and so we can give other people a chance to do some role playing.
Yes. Well, let us go to Uva first. She's up on the bridge.
Yeah.
Yeah. And there's nobody else there, so you're just, standing there and looking out over the cityscape below and watching people go about their daily lives and so on and so forth. And as you stand there, a raven lands on the railing of the bridge to the right of you.
You're a long way from home. Yeah, I guess I am too. You're right. It's silly talking to a raven.
It hops a
She
few-
nods knowingly.
It hops a few steps closer to you and pecks at your hand a little bit.
What's up?
It looks up at you with a kind of birdie expression. It's not as if they can have a whole lot of facial expressions to go with. But you do find yourself looking into these jet black beady eyes that it's got, and it's everything around you goes dark for a moment, and you find yourself standing somewhere else in. There's it's like it's in a cave or something, and there's a beam of light from a hole in the ceiling or a crack above you. And it doesn't smell terribly nice here, to be perfectly honest, and it's kind of dank, and
She sighs very deeply.
and out of the darkness walks the Raven Lady.
It's obvious she was about to open her mouth to complain over something, but shuts up.
Mm-hmm.
Just like that.
You're in a place none of my people have been before. Very far from home. How are you, Ilva? Be honest.
It seems like a ton of thoughts flies through her head. Homesick.
I don't blame you. But where is home to you? Really?
I actually don't know.
May I make a guess? It's with your friends and family. That's usually what people call home. And if that's the
It
case,
usually is.
if that is the case, then I suppose you are home on the ship. Or even your friends. Something does bother you, apart from that.
A whole slew of things is bothering me apart from that.
Share one. Can't promise I will solve it, but I'll listen.
I'm very sorry. It's very weird sharing my worries with my childhood idol.
Yes, a lot of people see me that way. I don't always understand it. I've killed too many people to be a good person, Ova.
I don't actually think killing or not killing makes you a good person or not.
Not always. But I've killed good people too, knowing they were good people.
Haven't we all?
I suppose this world makes monsters of all of us, doesn't it?
It does.
Still,
I have come to accept that part. But it seems I still can't accept people giving women away as possessions.
No, neither can I. Neither can I.
Just today,
Do tell.
we had a large fight here in Lanwan. Came back, and after the shadow monster left, we were told that the Lord's daughter had finally found a husband, which was hard because she is mute. But they found one, and she is to leave to go to this husband, who she's never seen, never known, or never talked to. And she's just expected to do so.
Well, arranged marriages are not uncommon. We even have them in places in the Southlands.
I know, I'm not a fan of those either.
I'm neither a fan or not. Some of them work out well, some of them don't. But I do understand that giving people away, but it doesn't necessarily sound like that is what has happened here. Still, I understand what you mean. Do you like the girl?
I haven't really talked with her. I know that's weird to say when she's mute, but she seems very nice.
Well, maybe she needs a friend.
I think I'm probably the most awkward person to ask that.
Why?
I'm not good keeping those I have.
Now we're getting somewhere.
What?
That bothers you.
I'm not sure if I were right in scolding Gylfi, but I did.
The boy has a good heart. He's not a warrior, but he's got a good heart. I wish there were more people like him in the world. I really do. On the other hand, if there were, the great contest would be lost.
I'm mostly worried about this trip for him.
I hope there will be many more like him when the great contest is over. And yes, I don't think it's going to be an easy time for him. Is it difficult for you to consider walking up to him, giving him a hug? Put what happened behind you. He's young.
Yep.
He's young. Young people make asshole mistakes. You wouldn't believe how many I've seen over the years. I've lost count. I'm that old after all. It's part of it. I'm pretty sure when you were young you made stupid mistakes too. We all do. Even me.
No one is infallible.
Exactly. So why should he be?
I never asked him to be.
What did you ask of him?
I don't know, he's just pulling away all the time.
I don't think he likes where he is. I think
No.
he's trying to come to terms with it. I think he does so because he feels, I don't know, obligation of some kind would be my guess. To who, I don't know. Maybe to you, maybe to someone else, maybe to all of it. That's my guess. It's the worst reason ever. In a situation like the one you're in, you should do it because you want to. Because the idea of getting up in the morning and grabbing your oar and seeing a new place makes you tingle, makes you smile. But it's his choice. Make it right, Ilva. Be the bigger person. She takes a step back into the darkness.
Silva frowns slightly. I ain't being the bigger person. No.
And she vanishes, and you're back on the bridge. And the raven just blinks once with one eye, and then once with the other eye, and then it takes off and flies away.
No, that was a surrealistic thing. But sure.
And we hop back down to the ship, where by now I think Frothy is quite probably more drunk than he has been at any previous time of his life.
That sounds about right.
He is cross-eyed. There are currently 3 grannies in front of him. He's so drunk that Vaybrander is actually a good singer.
Oh, I've never appreciated before.
Exactly. And of course the others are horrified by the fact that you're actually egging the man on.
I think he might also try to sing along.
Yeah. Oh God. That.
Oh,
And you're
dear
off
God.
key and out of step with it, and it's horrible. It's a thing of evil.
I think there's a 2-second delay from hearing to producing.
Yeah. And then you take another swig of this distilled rice wine. It's not just this is the strong stuff that you're working your way through.
Yes.
Yes. And you burp. Yep. Out comes a cloud of vapor, so to say, which then lights on fire. So you're literally belching fire right there. And it suddenly everything starts to go very, very slowly. And everybody else around you seems to be frozen mid-movement. And you can't hear any of them anymore because they're everything has just stopped, except for you, of course, and this cloud of burning belch. And
Well, that's fascinating.
yeah, you're looking into it, and you're seeing things that you have no idea really what it is, except you're seeing a very large city, much larger than anything you've ever seen before. It dwarfs Kaer Smaragd. It makes it look like a village outpost. It is enormous.
Is it built in the style of Lon 1?
Yes, only even more grandiose and more extreme, and everything is just there's a palace in the middle of it that looks. The palace alone is bigger than Valaness.
Wow.
Yeah, it's enormous, and you can't, you know, you're kind of, you're flying above it. You realize that you're flying far above it on, you know, on the wind, and you're looking down, and there are so many people down there. It's like watching an anthill.
Sounds like an amazing experience.
It is. It's an incredible
Wow.
experience, and it's fantastically surreal in many ways. This is also kind of strange because, you know, you and changing shape and so on. You know that there are skin changers amongst Southlander practitioners, but not you've never been able to do it, at least not yet. It might still be something you learn.
This might inspire me to try.
This could inspire you to try, indeed. The problem, of course, being that you can't be certain that what you can turn into is a bird,
That's true.
because that's not up to the individual. But you are looking down on this tremendous anthill, and suddenly you can see a huge commotion. There's a massive commotion by one of the gates, and there's fire and destruction, and it, you know, you fly closer, and you see a single horse escaping through the gates that have been, you know, left open, and then it's gone. Then that's gone, and you're back up above the what's it called, the city itself, and you fly closer to the huge palace. And as you fly down there, you fly in through an open window, and you hear an angry voice, a really, you know, hateful, angry voice. And the only thing you hear that voice saying is, "Cut his hair." And you land on a ledge. You can't see where this is being said. You can't see what it is. You land on a ledge. There's a mirror, and there's a room in front of you. You're sitting in a window, on a windowsill. There's a mirror right across the room, and you can see yourself. You're a raven, and you're bright red.
Oh.
And then you're back. Everybody moves again. The belch dissipates, and everybody's like, "Oh wow, that was good! Do it again! Do it again!" And you're no longer drunk.
Yeah, he takes a second to compose himself.
Yeah.
I need to go to the.
Yeah. Your stomach is probably telling you to go do something secret.
Yeah. And I think he goes to do that.
Yes. So basically, we end this week's session with Frodi hanging over the side of the ship.
You know, as you do.
As you do, because there's a whole lot of alcohol that needs to come back up. Alright, we end on that note then. And, yeah, let's see. That is... I'll give you 4 for tonight.
Nice.
Because this is quite... There were some quite important things tonight, and there's a major story development that will become obvious next time, so... Yay!
I think I will actually talk to you about shape-changing magic at some point soon.
Yes, definitely. And we shall see all of you guys hopefully next week for another episode of The Long Voyage. And until then, ladies and gentlemen, from all of us here, please like, share, subscribe, tell everybody else about Charisma 2AC, because we really need more subscribers. We really want all of the subscribers. Yes.
Yes.
And anyway, until next time from us here, bye.
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 Toodle.